This is in regards to the 144,000. In the dream, I remember being in a place where I do not know where I was, but think of it like if I appeared in a room, like in an open room, and I saw I think it was two people, two sisters, one who I actually have seen on YouTube. I do not know her in person, but I have seen her. And she was there. And I remember that there was a lot of like, like, oh, wow, look at this, like something of a surprising moment that just happened. And so as I'm hearing them eyeing and eyeing in surprise, and it piques my interest, like what's going on. And so as I see them having something around their neck, like it was like a jewelry made out of pearls. All of a sudden I looked at my hand and I had the same one. And I noticed that we all had these pearl necklace. And I remember that I looked in the mirror because I'm like, oh my goodness. And then I looked in the mirror and I noticed that I had a pearl earring on my ears. At the same time that I saw that, I also saw that I had earthly jewelries that were rusty. I remember that I looked at my hands and I saw two rusty rings that they were ugly looking. And I remember, and this is what's weird, brothers and sisters that are hearing me share this. I no longer been wearing jewelry. No type of jewelry, not even rings, nothing. So for me to see me in the dream wearing jewelry is actually surprising. They were rusty because it was like one of those, think of them like silver rings that after a while they start to rust, they start to get rusty, and they start to look ugly, very dull. Well, they were like that. And the same thing happened, that I noticed that I had two rusty rings around my belly button rings. I thought that was odd. But in the dream, I saw this. Now, I remember that while we were all in the moment of like surprise, where we all had suddenly jewelries, like heavenly jewelries. We had jewels. And I saw that the woman had them pearl around their neck. And I noticed that I had already the pearl earring already on my ears. Like think of it like somebody just put it there. Like I didn't even do that. Like it was just there. And that to me in the dream, I was like, oh wow, Now everything changes where we're all like being lined up, all of us, every single 144,000. Everyone's being lined up. We're all getting gathered and we're being lined up. And while I was in the line getting lined up, and everyone is in line, I remember that I see the sister again that I saw in the dream. Again, I see her, and now we're in the line and she's behind me. I remember I stepped out of the line and I looked backwards because we're still not moving. We're all kind of gathered together in this place, but we're about to move forward. And we're about to go where I can feel the sense of feeling like we're about to see like we're about to see God, face to face. And I started noticing that my clothes, they're huge. We still are wearing our regular clothes. It hasn't changed yet. And I remember that my clothes were huge. I remember that they were not my size. It's like if I shrunk and I got really skinny and these sizes were not fitting me anymore. It's like my clothes no longer fit me at all. It's like, think of me that I used to be large, and then now from large I went to extra small. And I was still having this extra large clothing that no longer fit me. And I remember that I was wearing a skirt, which was again another part in the dream that in real life I don't wear a skirt, I only wear dresses. And so for me to see me wearing a skirt, that was different. But I think it was for me to notice, to focus on it, because I think if I would have been wearing a dress, I probably would not pick up on that. But I ended up picking up on that because since it was a skirt, it was trying to fall off of me because it was like an extra large skirt. I start to do is that I start to roll the top piece, rolling it so it can have a better hold in the meantime until I get to my destination. So that's what I start to do. I start rolling it up a little bit so I can kind of hold it as much as I can so it doesn't fall off of me. And so I do that. Finally, when I'm able to gather the clothes that I'm wearing temporarily, as I gather the skirt and I roll it up, what I do is that I look behind me and I see the sister. And I see her needing encouragement. She needed encouragement. I felt like her face, her body language, like if there was still pride that she was battling with. And I remember that as I was turning around, I remember that I was removing the jewelry that I saw, and I started removing the belly button ring. I remember that feeling it coming off as I was pulling it out of me and taking it off. I didn't want nothing to hinder me once I get to my destination. Not even this, like jewelry, And I remember removing that because I didn't want that hindering me of any kind. So I wanted to make sure that everything was spotless, that everything was perfect. And so I started removing these items that I saw that had to go. So I started taking it off. And so once I took it off and I had it in my hands and I needed to just pretty much like toss it, do something with it, but I had it already removed. I remember that I looked back and I now think of this, brothers and sisters, I no longer have it in my hands. It's like I'm just holding my skirt up, as I'm walking. And I'm holding the skirt up and I look at the sister and I don't know, I can't remember what I said to her, but I remember that it was to encourage her because we're about to literally start walking to our destination. We're about to go. And I remember that when I looked at her hand, both of her hands were because she was behind me. I looked at her hand, and in both of her hands, I noticed that she had these, what people will call it, hair ties. She had a couple hair ties on her hand. And I said, that's odd. Why would she have hair ties? And then I thought to myself, interesting. She has hair ties. Something that you would use on your hair to hold it up. And she had a couple of those. And I thought that was really odd that she had more than one. And they were just literally like, they looked like braces. And that's how it looked like, which was really odd. But I didn't think much of it because it literally looked like to tie your hair. But then when I looked at her expression was very much of a person that needed to let go of things. She needed to let go of things that she has not letting go. And it was kind of pushing her back because she wasn't letting go of those things. And encourage my sister. I wanted her to know, like, listen, we're about to go, you know, like basically this was already a surprise that, like, even like the jewelry, you know what I mean? Like how exciting was that? And I woke up, and so I wanted to record this because this was in regard to the 144,000. Basically a message of the gathering, the gathering of the first fruit of the soon gathering that will happen. And so there was a lot of little important tokens in this dream in regards to allowing the Father to continue doing the cleansing work and allow him to purge out what needs to be purged out, and remembering humility and removing pride from our life. And again, allowing the Father to do the heart healing in our life and allowing him to purify us. And when the Israelites, jewelry was removed from their body, and they needed to basically purify themselves. How they ended up removing all their jewelry, whereas we were being lined up, gathered together, before we were about to even head out, I was removing the old jewelry that I saw because I did not want that to hinder me once I arrived to my destination. I started removing that immediately. And now with the clothing not fitting me, the transformation has not yet happened. But seeing the fact that my clothes did not fit me, the everything that needed to be let go, needs to be let go, so you're lighter. So you're not packing heavy. You're packing as light as you can as you're walking. And so, again, a lot of little tokens that if you really listen to the dream, you probably might have a better understanding, a better revelation regarding this. But this is where the Father has led me to understand. And so I wanted to record this because I was led to record and to share this with all of you. May Elohim bless you.